Thank you very much, John. Very, lovely introduction, and also thank you, Tia Society, to invite me this place to talk the meditation, and also thank you, an audience just come to the, this place to join me with, share this meditation also. Enlighten also pristine mind experience. I like to talk today for journey in, this is called pristine mind experience. I was living in California. I'm living in California right now, and I, almost there living my past 15, 16 years. I live in California, and then I was lived there. I went to write book about this meditation, this practice. My goal is how to, transform the human mind. It's not like just superficial way, it's very fundamentally shift of human consciousness. And it's, for example, pristine mind is not fundamental shift, not, you shift your thoughts, and that means small changing. You shift your attitude, small changing. You shift your perception, it's small changing. But you shift your mind is pristine, that's, means very, fundamentally, transformed. And therefore, I was living in California at that time, and Berkeley. I was, thinking, there's some. We have, two things. We have body and mind, and then body. We have so many different ways to improve. People eat the right food, doing yoga and exercise. People really want to achieve healthy body, physically healthy, and very strong. That's really many people pursue that. The other side is mind, but we ignore the mind most time. We are too much pay attention to our body, but that's good. It's not bad. But at the same time, we need to pay attention to our mind. Therefore, if you have healthy body, but you don't pay attention to your mind, and then mind is become more complicated and more discontent, stress, anxiety, fear, loneliness, fighting with friends, spouse, all this come from mind is polluted and also distorted. You see, and therefore I was taught, when I was studying growing up, I was studying these teachings called pristine mind. It's come from Dzogchen, maybe you know that name. It's talk about mind fundamentally, what really is. It's mind fundamentally polluted or pristine. There are two things maybe. This water can be polluted or pristine, there's two things maybe. What's really water fundamentally? Water fundamentally clean, fresh, and very healthy. That's the natural water, yeah? Pollution is temporary, temporarily polluted, but originally pure, yeah? The water. Similar, our human mind is, your mind is not involved in any conditions. Any conditions, you means what the conditions means. Focus any conditions, something bad, creates feeling sadness or anger or resentment. And that means you focus conditions. Focus something positive, joy, feel happy, and there's gratitude, there's appreciation. They're called conditional. But let's say your mind is not focused anywhere. What's unconditional mind is like? Unconditional mind is pristine. It's we know that. How do you know? When we meditating. When you meditate, you know your mind is pristine. Therefore, I was grown up studying these teachings, and then it's totally transformed of human perception. And then I was thought, we need to have help, People have to go through so much and every day, mental, emotional, agitation, fear, and anxiety, or that's really going on one side. The other side, we need to improve positive side. We need to have improve more joy, more gratitude, more happiness, more compassion, more love, and we expanding our positive side and reduce our negative thoughts, emotions. How do you do that? And then we know the pristine mind, easy to do that. Therefore, my first time writing book is, for example, is how to transform human mind. There are many different ways to transform human body, but how to transform human mind, like your body. Like there's body, there's core. There's before and after photos of body. Yeah? Similar, how do you do mind? Before your mind is this, and then after your mind is that, There, you can tell when you experience pristine mind, there's before and after photos of mind, you can say. Some people do, their science put many things in your mind, meditators, that's one way, but you don't need to do that. Your experience can tell you how you feel before and how you feel after, And someone's mind, it's very easy, obvious. Someone's mind is distorted, polluted, means if you're angry, that means your mind is polluted, yeah? Your mind is controlled by negative thoughts, emotions. If you're sad, but we need to know that our mind is polluted. When we have anger, sadness, fear, agitation, all is sign of mind is polluted, yeah? Because there's uneasiness going on. But sometimes we don't realize that's normal, It's not normal, like when you eat food, you're sick, you don't say that's normal. you say, something I may eat something bad food, Similar, when you're angry, unhappiness, sadness, your mind is polluted that moment. And then later, few hours later, clear, because your mind is, that toxic information's gone. Therefore, you feel better. When you feel better, that means the information that thought is disappear, and that thought is released, you feel better mentally, emotionally. And that really means my goal is, how to help the human mind. And that's really I came about this book. And generally, for example, and I want to talk about today as main subject is very important for everyone. If you have mind, I think this is very important for you. I'm teasing. What is really like your mind fundamentally? Because, usually what happens is we ignore our mind. We are fascinating external conditions. Something we see through vision. Something we hear, music. Something we taste. We are completely, obsessed external condition, and therefore we never pay attention to our mind. Therefore, we don't know what's going on here. We know what's going on there. Therefore, pristine mind is, first time pay attention your mind. First time pay attention your consciousness. We are pay attention. You're always looking, our, bodies, and always we looking our body mail. Always looking every day. We wake up, people make up. That means looking your body. Make sure your hair is okay. Your, everything's okay. Sure. But how many times you pay attention your mind that way? Never, yeah, never. If you don't pay attention to your mind, you don't know what's going on here, and you don't know that's pristine or you don't know polluted or that's really happy or sad. We don't know what's going on. Therefore, The meditation is pay attention to your mind. It's not just only physical, you pay attention, external condition, or not pay attention just physical images, but more going deep. Deep means you're going deep, more profound means like more depth. There's how really is actually thoughts, emotions, that's who you are, or you're much better than that. And actually investigating at the nature of your mind. And that's really our, we are, I think that's really our the next big thing, Right now, world is very different way. World is, we have so much technology, medicine, every external things are improved, everything's improved. But we are ignored mind. But I think next thing is, I think we are, finding happiness within. And, we pay attention to our consciousness. We are develop more our consciousness. I think then we perceive world very beautiful way, You want to see world is more beautiful, more, like tranquil, more, like vibrant. You need to have pristine mind. When you have pristine mind, you see world totally different. And when you have mind is distorted, your world is uncomfortable, difficult. There's resentment, there's agitation. If you have that, you look in the world and you not enjoy much world because so much going on. But there's experience, If your mind is pristine, you look at the world is totally different experience. I think that is really the more happiness or more, like extraordinary happiness and also connection. You want a connection, this is number one is pristine mind. And that's the reason I like to talk about right now is why we don't experience pristine mind. How to get there. That's two things, why we don't experience pristine mind. That's really important. People are curious, says mind is pristine, why we don't experience right now. I want to explain a little bit that more. I always give knowledges, examples, always very clear. And then, for example, as long as clouds and sky, you cannot see the blue sky, yeah? Clouds to prevent to see the blue sky. As long as clouds occupy in sky, we cannot access blue sky. Similarly, as long as our mind is overcast and we cannot experience pristine mind. What do you mean overcast mind means? Overcast means thoughts are clouds, emotions, agitations, stress, all these things completely take over our state of mind, yeah? If these things take over state of mind, we only experience these things. We experience agitation, we experience anxiety, fear, or like temporary happiness, but we don't experience pristine mind. Therefore, and when human beings don't experience pristine mind, the reason is their mind is overcast. Then that's the reason they don't experience. And then thing is, then when these events disappear, how do you access, let's say, or events disappear, like agitation, thoughts, emotions completely cover up the pristine mind? When they disappear, I give you similar, like for example, clouds obscure the sky. When clouds disappear, its conditions change it. Yeah, conditions are no longer there. Like today, I was get here, it's lots raining, like pouring in the sky, lots rain, and then few minutes clear up, that's here. Why there's pouring rain? Because conditions are there. Therefore, there's condition, lots of clouds in sky gathering, and then there's rain. The conditions are no longer then then rain stopped, and then clouds disappear, and you see the blue sky. The conditions are no longer there, then disappear. Similarly, what is conditions of your, mind? What's conditions of thoughts, emotions, agitations? What the conditions are there? As long as your mind is continually preoccupied external conditions, there's conditions. It says if you focus negative things, then it create negative experience. Someone says, oh, someone did something, I don't like that. You thinking that over and over and again creates resentment. Or some things make you sad, some things make you angry, some things make you happy, some things make you delight. Everything's conditions that we are focused, and then our mind is cloudy and overcast. When conditions are disappear, this is when we meditate. When we meditate, conditions are disappear. How that happens? I put this book. Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava, he says, if you want to experience a pristine mind, you want to access a pristine mind, 4 things you need to do. He said, don't follow past, don't anticipate in future, stay present moment, leave your mind alone. Don't mess with conditions. If you do these 4 steps, don't follow past. Don't follow past means, let's say 20 minutes we do this exercise. Meditation means say you do meditation 20 minutes. 20 minutes says, don't follow past means if you focus past, create more mental events. Create mental events means create lots of clouds in your mind and you cannot experience. You want to experience pristine mind, not follow past events. Let's say not say all the time, but just 20 minutes. 20 minutes during the 20 minutes meditation. During this meditation, don't follow past events. Just bring mind present moment, and make sure mind is present, and don't anticipate in the future. You think in the future, create more mental events. You only experience mental events. You don't experience pristine mind. Then let's 20 minutes not follow future events. Future events create more worries, concerns, anxieties. Oh, what happened tomorrow and something. And you're thinking about it more and more you feel, there's more clouds and appear in your mind. And they overcast your mind. Let's say not focused past, not focused in future, stay present moment, and leave your mind alone means just leave your mind alone without condition. This is very important. And if this is training, you don't know how to do that beginning, but slowly you know how to do that. Leave your mind alone without condition. If you do that, you are not past, you are not future. You leave your mind alone, just stay there. What happens? If there's thoughts, emotions, or conditions, agitations, thoughts, emotions, anxiety, everything's dissipate. Disappears, vanish, they slowly disappear because they cannot survive without pay attention in any conditions. Negative thoughts cannot survive without pay attention negative condition. You are not focused negative condition, therefore there's no negative thoughts. You are not focused positive condition, there's no positive thoughts. No positive thoughts, emotions, experience, everything's dissipate. And before, we never done this, therefore we don't have pristine mind. But if we do that, and then everything's one by one, thoughts, emotions dissipate. When they are dissipate, and when clouds are dissipate, what is left is blue sky. When thoughts, emotions, agitations dissipate, what is left is your true consciousness, unconditional mind, and also pristine mind. That's left there. And then first time you really explore, that means you explore your mind. It's your mind. It's not talk about everybody's, everybody's mind is the same. And then you explore your mind. You say, oh, I can't believe my mind is pristine. And that, like, oh, that's really beautiful, And then you really know your fundamental mind. We want to know our body. Why we don't, and there's curious not about mind, similar. I want to know my mind, same as my body. I want to know my thoughts, my emotions. They exist or not. They're just temporary. It's really this. It's the pristine mind is like when thoughts, emotions are dissipate, and you experience pristine mind. This called there's presence of pristine mind. There's absence of mental events. That's really the meditation means. When you set meditation means your strong presence of pristine mind. Strong presence of light. For example, there's light shining. Your presence, there's no darkness there. Similarly, strong presence of pristine mind. There's no, mental events, and that really then it's called you perceive your mind is pristine, and you realize your mind is pristine. And it's very important. Meditation is not just only tranquil, peaceful, but meditation is, called change your perception. That's really our most powerful meditation. Why is meditation so powerful? Because change your perception. Perception who you are, perceive your mental event. There are two things going on here. Pristine mind and mental events. These two things are very important. Pristine mind is your, like this water. Water is naturally, unconditionally clean, yeah? Someone don't make this water, pure. This water is always pure originally. That's how water is. Similarly, the consciousness and human mind is innately pure, pristine, and healthy, and comfortable. It's not comfortable, it's come from conditionally comfortable, Something makes me comfortable, Like I went to restaurant, make me feels good. That means you went to foods, gave you comfort, I want to talk to someone I really, really enjoy, but that means they're conditionally comfortable. Conditions make you comfortable or feel good, yeah? That's conditional. But without thoughts, emotions, mental events, mind is innately, the natural born mind is always comfortable. And that's really because when we get there, we feel that. When we get there and we feel that. And therefore, pristine mind, there's mental events. Mental events means occur, when clouds occur, blue sky, in the sky, they occur. Similar, mental events, like thoughts are mental events, emotions are mental events, habits are mental events, the beliefs are mental events. Many experiences called mental events means they take place within the pristine mind. But their events means they're just temporary events, but they're not there. They're not permanent residents. Like events, we are taking these events to ours here. They call events, but we are not living here. Similarly, thoughts are not living our mind. They're events. Emotions are events. Therefore, they're conditional. Conditional means thoughts are conditioned, unhappiness is conditioned, jealous is conditioned, stress conditioned. Everything's conditioned. That means mind is pure. they're not conditioned. They're just always stuck in my mind. They're really, the anger is part of my mind. The jealousy is part of my mind. The stress is part of my mind. That means my mind they're not conditional, yeah? You think anger is conditional, yeah? You're not angry today. Tomorrow something make you angry. That means conditional. Sadness is very conditional. And that means, yeah, all this is conditional. That means what is really your mind fundamentally? It's pristine. How do you know? Through you pay attention to your mind. When you say, leave your mind alone, it means just pay attention to your mind. Leave your mind alone, and then thoughts, emotions dissipate. You experience natural conditioned mind. Natural conditioned mind. I sometimes, if you put many things here, and you stir up, like sometimes, milk or anything, like stir up, and you don't see natural color water. You only see the orange, maybe lemon, maybe some other things. You see the different color, yeah? And the more you shake, the change in the color of water, yeah? But you leave alone some things, and then you live alone here, and then slowly, water appears its natural qualities, some things. Dust and settle down, water appears natural quality. And natural quality is clear. Similar, if you leave your mind alone during the meditation, and mind appears a natural quality. It's really our natural qualities: calm, clear, pristine, and boundless. You experience that. This is called pristine mind. And that really how do you get there is through pristine mind meditation. Through pristine mind meditation is, I want to say this pristine mind meditation. There are many different kinds of meditations. But mainly there's two categories. All meditations there's two categories. Meditation involves object, condition. Meditation, no condition, no object. For example, like you watch breath, people watching breath, and also do some mantra sometimes, and focus some, image, or focus on feeling or sensations. They call object-based meditation because you focus something object. And that goal is your mind's come down. And then there's objectless meditation. Objectless meditation is not focus any objects like sensations or feelings or watching breath or images, but just leave your mind alone. You explore your true consciousness, and then you experience natural conditioned mind. When you leave your mind alone, you experience natural conditioned mind. That's really our the call, and this is a category is called objectless meditation. It's called sometimes pristine mind meditation. Pristine mind meditation is objectless meditation. Traditionally, you done what is there? This is to do. Traditionally, first you say what's the, watching breath. Watching breath. Watching breath is people are so much mind is so busy, chaos, and you cannot calm down. And then you watch a breath, watching breath, and then once you're watching breath enough, then your mind comes down. When your mind is calmed down, then what do? You stir watching breath. What do you do after you? And then this, after your mind is calmed down, you don't longer watching breath. And then only watching breath is useful only when you have thoughts. Thoughts are there, and then it's very easy to. And watching breath is very easy, and because watching breath is calm down your thoughts. Thoughts are there for when thoughts or emotions subside, then what do you do? And that says, and then leave your mind alone. leave your mind alone after that. And then once you leave your mind alone, and then it switch to pristine mind, then it's experience of your pristine mind. That's traditionally, first you do the watching breath, you have thoughts, and then second switch to pristine mind. And also, you go directly pristine mind, like say, Dzogchen style meditation is just leave your mind alone, just you beginning. And sometimes people don't need to go, watching breath. But if you have thoughts cannot come down, you can still watching breath. When it comes down, when thoughts come down, and then you can leave your mind alone. Then you can experience a pristine mind. Experience pristine mind, it says occur, say, 3 realizations, 3 levels of realization. First, you have realized your mind is pristine. That's called the first realization. Usually we have this perception, ordinary perception called thoughts, emotions, or distortion mind. That's who I am. My mind is complicated. Some people think that my mind is moody, or my mind is cranky, or my mind is like agitated. People have identified these ways, many different ways. But once you realize your mind is pristine, you never identify again that. How you change, your perception changes, like, oh yes, like my mind is pristine, and that's really our first experience. If you know your mind is pristine, then you automatically know your mental events are just mental events, not who you are. Yeah, I think that's very important. Personal transformation, happiness says, like if your mind, you realize mind is pristine, you automatically realize happy, sad, good, bad, all experiences, just passing events. Passing events, and you have that is called second realization. And you meditating, there's 3 realizations, or 3 perceptions perceived. And you see happy, unhappy, everything's just passing events. And that simultaneously occurs. Like it's the power of meditation. You have this insight and wisdom. Your wisdom is, through meditation, your mind is pristine. That's first realization or wisdom. The second is thoughts, emotions, happiness, sorrow. They're passing events. And then you look, for example, sometimes when they're sad, even you angry, furious, same time you already you have the belief or your mind is pristine. How much clouds in the sky, how much once you see the sky is blue, doesn't matter how many pour rain there's. You still believe sky is blue, yeah? Similar, once you experience mind is pristine, doesn't matter you're angry, depressed, upset, still you believe your mind is pristine. Therefore, that's not heavy. That means not heavy. It's not very, very heavy. Therefore, and it very much helps tremendously. And, that means the second realization, mental events, just mental events. And third realization is, realization is need more meditation. The meditation is here. What is really meditation here? It means, when you watching the breath, you focus the breath. Yeah. When pristine mind meditation means, when thoughts, emotions are dissipated, you experience pristine mind. Just stay with experience pristine mind, and just stay with pristine mind. Abiding with pristine mind. Stay with who you are. Stay with your fundamental consciousness. Stay with that, like 20 minutes. It's called meditation, pristine mind meditation. Stay with your pristine mind, maintain with that. Pristine mind is called meditation. The more you meditate in pristine mind, the more you perceive your thoughts, emotions, everything's illusions. They appear very differently. They act differently. Thoughts, emotions, when you're meditating, they're acting totally different. They're more transient. They're more, very comes go very easily, not like permanent solid. They don't have that. If you think your mind is difficult, fundamentally complicated, they're almost stuck in here. They think they're really more heavy. You think they're events, and you have that perspective, and they're more light. And that's really our totally different experiences. The more you meditating, the more thoughts, emotions, they appear like very differently, and they call you experience their illusions. I mean, they're there, but at the same time, they just easily disappear. It's not like solid that, and that's called realize thoughts, emotions are illusions, and that it's very called 30 realizations come from when you meditate in pristine mind meditation occur 3 levels of realization. And that's really the power of meditation, it's like that. And, and that's really on a perception of the, changing of perception in your mind. Because really meditation, what's really beneficial is changing your perception. Because changing your perception means, like, for example, anything you perceive right now, it's things not happen outside your perception. Everything you perceive is your perception. For example, some people have more fear, some people have happiness, because why? They perceive world too differently. And for example, your perception changes, all the thoughts, emotions disappear, the new thoughts, new experiences begin. Because the perception change, you have that, for example. Let's say you meditate in 1 year, but what is really our meditations, all thoughts, anxieties, or any negative thoughts disappear more and more. And you have new thoughts, new experiences, and new emotions, and appear. Therefore, meditation create, the benefit of meditation is create new experiences, new thoughts. And I give these examples very important. It's, I think, let's say, temperature drop below 0, yeah? When temperature drop below 0, and things change in conditions, countries completely changes because everything is frozen, and there's, and the water become ice, trees falling, all life leaves part, and there's snow, everything's cold, frozen, it's very, very like that, completely change the country, yeah? Because why? Because temperature drop below 0. But then say this meditation, a metaphor Mapum Rinpoche gives. He says, let the temperature get rise, like in the springtime, 60s, 70s. And then disappear, what's disappear? Ice is disappear, yeah? The frozen ground is disappear. Everything disappear, but new, the flowers, the water, beautiful water, the birds, whole entire country's new experience, new trees, new flowers, water, ice become, ice become water, everything's changing. Why is temperature shift? Change the entire environment. So similarly, if you changing your mental environment inside your mind, and you like similarly, all the thoughts, emotions disappear, and new thoughts, emotions, experience begin like summer. Because why we have right now feel a certain way? Because depend how much we are perception, how much our thoughts, emotions, and habits very responsible every day what we feel, what we connect. And through meditation, thoughts, emotions disappear, and then we, uncomfortable feelings disappear, and we feel more comfortable. And like in a winter to spring, spring to summer, and completely. You have internal, there's water temperature, but you have external, internal, there's also water and temperature. And that's really a meditation is, changing the climate of your mind. I don't know how to say it, but, the climate of your mind. And that's really, I see meditation is how transform the human mind and most beautiful way. I think, therefore, I think the next generation people more explore their mind. We are completely resources are finished. External. People go to Mars. They just found empty space. Red planet. There's a movie they call, someone stuck on Mars, and doing very difficult things, It's not, you don't want to go there, And then people go moon, we do everything resource external is finished. We cannot find happiness out there. So what do? We have everything, but we need to have more beautiful mind. Then we see world much beautiful place. That's well scaled, I think. And that really needs next generation people. Right now we are very fascinating exploring external conditions. We are fascinating about the physical body. But if you explore mind, they're more fascinating. They're more wonderful experiences. There's more treasure trove. And I think you have that. I think that's really our call, pristine mind, explore of pristine mind. It's, pristine mind is not like just simple like that. It's degrees. How much you experience, 20, you experience 20 degrees, or you have perceived 20%. Or maybe 2 days is I can experience 20% through meditation. Maybe 5 days later, maybe you have 70% you experience pristine mind. It's not all nothing situation, It's really degrees. Depend on how many thoughts that disappear, And the more thoughts that dissipate, the more you access your pristine mind. I think that's really and when you have, if you have pristine mind, you experience pristine mind, you have unconditional happiness. The other things, the book's title, subtitle, A Practical Guide into Unconditional Happiness. Unconditional happiness means, when your mind is pristine, means healthy, and that means there's automatically sense of well-being. Sense of well-being is not come from conditions, but there's sense of well-being, whether you're walking, talking, living, or dying, doesn't matter. There's very much fulfillment part of you, a very comfortable, very, sense of well-being, and there's, it's degrees. You have more experience, pristine mind. There's higher degree that, bliss, and also sense of well-being, and very comfortable. And that is called unconditional happiness. It's not come from conditions. Something you eat, something you listen, something you see, but it's because come from when your consciousness is such pristine, there's, automatically there's really sense of well-being and healthy that. For example, I always get, for example, my hand is very healthy, I'm naturally feeling, I don't need touch anywhere, feels good, yeah? because healthy, there's naturally there's sense well-being like that. Similar, if your mind is pristine, there's automatically, sense well-being. Like that, and it's degrees. The more you have pristine mind, the more you have that strong, and experience. And we don't always looking, continually agitating external. We don't have that hunger, And once you access pristine mind, you enjoy the world, but you're not obsessed. Like that's really enjoy. Some things you're not obsessed, you enjoy it. You're obsessed, you cannot enjoy it. Like anything like that. I gave you examples there, in the book, that, like examples. But therefore, like they say, that's our unconditional happiness, like, and you're comfortable, your happiness is not 100% conditional, like, and your happiness maybe like 50, 60% are maybe not conditioned, 30% conditional. I think that's good. But 100% your happiness conditional means then their conditions disappear, and then we are devastated. Why devastated? Because your mainly your happiness relies circumstance, conditions like relationships. Your other things. Of course, we need these things, but not 100%. We cannot rely on, and therefore, this unconditional happiness. If you have, then says you have conditional happiness, double, triple. You are much enjoy. I think this is very beautiful. I experience, like. Meditators have, if your mind is pristine, and this is really true experience, if your mind is pristine, you enjoy more everyday life. Every day you enjoy, it's everybody's experience. You enjoy everyday life. You enjoy friendship. You enjoy scenery. You enjoy streets. Like everything. Sometimes, like people like New York City, like that. Like people are, you go to New York City, what's really like, people told me they're always, very anxious, very stressful. People told me they're very stressed. Everybody has, serious face. Like rushing and, walking in, like Manhattan is very serious. Everybody's passing each other like quickly, like, it's. I think people need more, that kind. People need have that kind of experience, but actually, most important as people whether they live in city or country, what is really are, need more calm or pristine mind. And that can handle the world. And that really, my own experience, let's say, how I can, connect the audience. What's important for me is, doing the lecture or book talks, or I do many years. Number one for me, connect the audience is, I have, my mind is calm, relaxed, and some degree pristine, then I can connect the audience. That's number one. And my mind is, preoccupied many concerns, worries, hesitations. It's become awkward, very uncomfortable. I don't know how to connect the audience. It's not that much because number one connection is the audience is pristine mind, not ordinary thoughts. That's really, and therefore. That says, if you have pristine mind, you're much better communicator. Communicator, you're much better performer, and better teacher, better husband or wife. Like a pristine mind is not just working one emotion. So I am fear. What do you do? I have sadness. It's not working everything, because all these things are mental events. Because let's say, like sometimes one by one, I have fear, what do you do? I have, there's one solution. I have stress, what do you do? There's solution. I have, like anger. It's, usually one by one. But pristine mind is solution everything, because it says there's pristine mind, mental events. The anger is mental events, sadness is mental events, fear is mental events. If you deal mental events, you deal everything. Therefore, not just only you can have one, treatment, this, one other treatment. If you do pristine mind, probably works all mental events. And I just describe, like the main points of a pristine mind, and then I think we want to have a few moments to the meditation. I have guiding you. You can a few moments of this experience. I think therefore I think you enjoy, and then we can after that we have question answers. Okay, and then you may stay comfortable your body, relax your body. And then, and then silent your speech. And sometimes this meditation is called open your eyes. Open eye meditation means, I think this is a long story, but, usually meditations, they do open eye. But here, if you relax, and then you can close eyes. But you want to present, and then you need to open your eyes, present. Close eyes is hard to do, be present. And then this says, open your eyes. And then that's really physical posture. And the second thing is mentally, emotionally relaxed. And means your mind just relaxed. Same time, a little bit alert, also present. That quality. Relax and a little bit more aware, and alert and present. And then if you are past yesterday, a day before yesterday, this morning, please come back present moment. Please stay in present moment. If you went to future, this afternoon, or this evening, some other preoccupation, your mind, please bring present moment. And then stay present moment. You want to watch breath, that's fine. Otherwise, just stay present moment. And then leave your mind alone without condition. That means your mind is not going after any conditions, sounds, images, any sensations. Just live totally alone without condition. You leave your mind this way, and then thoughts, emotions, agitations slowly dissipate. And when they dissipate, what is left is pristine mind, and then just stay with pristine mind, abiding with pristine mind, maintain with your pristine mind. Okay, thank you. Then it's after this, I think you can read. Maybe you can read some book. That's okay.
The beauty of pristine mind. At its core, our mind is pristine. Pristine mind is a beautiful, naturally vibrant state, brimming with life, self-sustaining in its capacity to provide a dependable, inexhaustible source of happiness and joy. Sadly, most of us do not realize the true nature of our mind. We have become disconnected from it. Pristine mind becomes obscured by the mind's perceptions and inner experiences, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and judgments that pollute its true nature. As a result, we live in a mind that leaves us insecure, alternating between times of happiness and sadness. This robs us of the ultimate experience of life, deeply connected and aware of this pristine state of mind. In pristine mind, we are not detached or withdrawn from the world. We do not need to reject worldly pleasures. In pristine mind, we are far more present to the world than we ever have been before. We experience life's pleasures more robustly, work more effectively, and above all, love more richly and universally. Living in this way does not leave us dry and disconnected, but fills us with gratitude and energy. Our very life changes from one of fending off fear and despair to one of contentment, love, and splendor. Fortunately, this happy state is in us right now. It is who we really are. So we can never really lose it, but in order to rediscover it, we must look for it in the right place. Any quest for unconditional happiness must begin with our own mind. The second aspect of realization, who we are not. Once we have directly perceived our pristine mind, that direct perception gives us a chance to experience the second aspect of realization, that thoughts and emotions are just mental events, not who we really are. When we see who we are, we automatically see who we are not. The more we remain in that pristine state of mind, the more we perceive all mental events, whether happy or sad, angry or desirous, positive or negative, as just passing across our mind. This aspect of realization is a direct, personal, first-hand experience of that reality, not just something we learn intellectually. Once we have become really familiar with the experience of pristine mind realization, no matter what kind of thought or emotion or other mental event arises, we no longer identify with it. We see any agitation in our mind as just a passing event. We think, I know my mind is innately pristine. These experiences are just passing through. We perceive them that way. We do not have to say this out loud to ourselves. We just begin to naturally see things that way once we have had some degree of realization of this truth.
And then you have any questions, please raise in your hands. Yes, he has some questions.
During the meditation, I went into what seemed to be kind of a very deep, blank state. Mm. What relationship does this have to the ideas that you're talking about?
I think maybe, let's say, pristine mind experience is what it's really like. It's for example, there's the sunlight, sunlight is, directly shining. Mm-hmm. I think a pristine mind is more vivid than thoughts. This is, the pristine mind is like sun. Thoughts are like moon. Moon don't have light, yeah? Thoughts don't have light. It's their shadow about your awareness. Mm-hmm. Therefore, presence, pristine mind is, I think, more presence, not blank state, like more presence, more awareness. And awareness is not, obscured by any mental events. And then the presence of strong awareness, I think that's it. Like that. A blank state is still, I think, it's mental events. Some kind, not thought, but a little bit more some sort of experience. So you feel that way, just feeling at that blank state. Therefore, what is really meditation? That means pristine mind meditation gives gives you, original mind, and you come to that state. For example, only happening is, right now is without leave mind alone, thoughts cannot dissipate. And they cannot dissipate, but when you leave your mind alone, thoughts, emotions dissipate, you come to your natural state. And that's what I talk about, they call pristine mind. And the goal is, like everyday living with pristine mind. They call living with pristine mind and dying with pristine mind. There are two things. You heard that book called Tibetan Book of Death. The very Tibetan Book of Death is, whole entire goal is dying with pristine mind. How we die when we die, not lost in hopes and fears, but when your mind is weak and pristine, and then you can die with that. And then the other part is, living. You can every day live with pristine mind, means clear mind, not stressful mind. But first we need how to get there, how to get there. How to get there, that's very important. How to get there and familiar with that. Meditation is just familiar with that, Right now we are I call ordinary mind. Ordinary mind is really easy to live, we don't need meditating to live, because why we are so much, ordinary mind is for here, front. Because familiar, very familiar, that's it. There's no other reason. Once we are familiar, pristine mind, that's also easy. And therefore, first you get there, you need meditation to get there. But once you are there, you're familiar, you become second nature, then it's very easy. Easier than living ordinary mind. Therefore, and then living pristine mind, engage in pristine mind, listen music with pristine mind, drinking tea with pristine mind. I think I cut up this, there's one section called drinking tea, pristine mind, but I don't think that there any inside book right now, but there's chapters before there, and and then I took out maybe, it's too much, but actually that you can do. Why not? You can drink it in ordinary mind. Why not? You can drink it with pristine mind. And that really means, that's how do you do that? It's very question. For example, let's say, pristine mind, you can listen, music, or engage in the world. What does that means, for example? Let's a blue sky. There are a few clouds in the sky, few clouds in the sky, but mostly clear. The clear sky, few clouds, pristine sky, few clouds. Similar, how do you engage in the world with pristine mind? Clear mind, pristine mind, the few thoughts there. Few thoughts you use, what kind tea I drink. That means where I go, it's, like you use a few thoughts. Your mind is not junk, Your mind is not overcast. And that means live with the pristine mind is, your mind is no longer overcast, no longer, so much dark and, toxic. and so much, polluted, unpolluted, but few thoughts, few mental events. The mental events are maybe beautiful mental events. I say sometimes, clear sky, but I like sometimes few clouds. I enjoy a few clouds. But you have pristine mind, same time I like few mental events there. Few mental events, 30% mental events I maybe enjoy maybe. And therefore that means, talk will end this book, first you meditation, your mental events are like almost they're like enemies. And slowly, the more first stage, second, third stage, your mental events become allies, not enemies. You appear, you enjoy, there's chapter is called, you enjoy your mental events. And that is, very intersection. I think that's really because people, in passport you can engage in with, pristine mind at the same time with the world. But it's really realistic because pristine mind is only, your mind is 70% clear, that's it. And then 30% maybe beautiful mental events. And that's really a way to live. It's, I think that's a very beautiful life, I have that. And see world is more beautiful. Therefore, I think get there and then just maintain there. Therefore, physical work, there's physical work exercise, walking, and meditation, which is hard. Physical exercise, I think my own experience, for me, physical exercise is always difficult, but meditation is difficult beginning but end very easy. That's the difference. Once you're familiar, it's easy, and get there is difficult. That's really the difference meditation and physical exercise. Okay?
I had a very similar experience to this gentleman's. I felt like I was zoned out rather than really, really present, although I didn't have any thoughts in my head. It just felt zoned out. And, just like a physical trainer or when you hire a physical trainer,
yes,
they'll help you do the exercises well and train you. Is there, in your book, or is there a means of getting better at meditation faster so that you can realize the state of mind that you want to be in?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, exactly similar. There's physical trainers helps you, help what is normal, what is not normal. Are you doing fine or you're not doing, you're okay. Similar, I think you're doing meditation. I think it's, my book is this book is talk entire third chapter, third part is meditation. And also you can go to meditation teacher or meditation retreats that and sometimes, helpful, and also you that. But for example, first you meditate, thoughts come. That's normal. Sometimes mind is blank, and you're not just that is normal. Normal means they have that experiences occur all the time. It's it's not a failure, and if you do maybe tomorrow, and maybe you have different experience. All these things are normal, but at the beginning, everybody has normal. For example, I, learning English, or learning ride bike, always, people fall into this, fall into that. It's normal beginning, isn't it? You say, oh, I cannot, I'm failure riding bike. I could not learn. It's not, you can do today this and that, but next day, few days, you can improve. Similar meditation, beginning, sometimes mind is wild, sometimes blank state, But if you do the techniques carefully, you have good instructor, and I think you can slowly get there. And the number one is pay attention, not forget your meditation, and you make a priority. I think everybody has some source, a good experience. Therefore, usually people going to retreat 3-4 days. That's very good. Then set up, after that you can do automatically. And that's also recommended also. You're welcome.
Rinpoche, am I understanding correctly that as we progress, that our thoughts and our emotions can become our teachers? And if so, how can we most skillfully learn from the 30% of thoughts and emotions that we still have?
Yeah, I think you do the meditation, you automatically you know how they occur, how they disappear. They teach you. They teach you mental events. That's teaching, yeah? Thoughts, when you leave your mind alone, then all mental events disappear. That teach you to, we are events, we are not there. We are just temporary, we are impermanent. And then the more you meditating, and then all thoughts, emotions, mental events dissipate. But negative thoughts, emotions first dissipate. And then positive, helpful mental events appear, not during the meditation, but after the meditation, after every day. You know, daily life, your mind is more positive because your mental environment is not that dark or complicated. And therefore, during the meditation, we are not focused about positive thoughts or negative thoughts. We are just pristine, yeah, 20 minutes. If you do that, the more your mind is become pure, pristine, the old, dark thoughts, emotions are disappeared because they cannot survive because your mind is improving, your climbing, your mind is improving. The old, dark disappear, and more light, the joyful mental events appear after the meditation. Like exercise, for example, you regularly working every day, then, naturally your bodies become more healthier, become stronger, That's really the consequences of your working your physical body. The body is more strong, the bodies have more strength, light, Similarly, the more you do the pristine mind meditation or any other meditation, your thoughts, emotions are much improved in daily life. And that's really and slowly, and more your mental events are, let's say example, like summer, winter time, you cannot see the flowers. There's no flowers, flowers. But summertime, you can see the flowers, but different events. Similar, when our mind is really ordinary, completely overcast, we don't experience very high level happiness or enjoyments. But once mind is changes internally, the mental environment changes, maybe we see more positive mental events after that. More enlightened mental events, beautiful mental events. I think that's really our talk about. They teach us to many things.
I'm just asking this for clarification because physically, when you talk about pristine mind, you go over the chest versus the head, and I don't know what to think. Is it here, or is it here, or is it this?
That's a really hard question. I'm teasing. But, I feel I just put my heart, heart means like mind and heart sometimes put together. Therefore, if you, say heart or mind, you say, like similar, and just put here, somewhere location I can put, there's no location, but you need do, heart is here, you feel heart beating, heart is beating here, and then I says put here. That's the reason I says mind means heart. Like I feel here and my heart is beating, that I always talk about that. I think there's a reason. And there are symbolic reasons. It's not like really, my consciousness is, completely, between the brain, there's called Dzogchen text, and this is, mind is really operating between brain and heart. And that they live and also operate in that, they call consciousness. And then I was sometimes touching here. Many people ask me that, why are you touching your heart? Because I feel something here. And
sorry, it might become long-winded, but in ideal conditions, it's easy to keep your mind pristine when, let's say, you are on vacation or no external stimuli. But unfortunately, in the real world, when you have, let's say, children crying, husband wanting something, and a dog needs to go outside, it's like really difficult to keep that kind of calm, pristine mind. And more negative stimuli you get, is harder. And being, like, if you're a monk living in a monastery for 30 years, you have ample time to practice that kind of skill. What are commoners like us living in this unfortunate real world, how do we do that?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question, always a very good question. It's a very perfect question. People say, it's really, how is, people are busy, like people do any other things. People do, do yoga, they do exercise, all these things, like you want a really beautiful, life, I think you need to pay attention. For example, I give this example all the time. It's not like just that moment you calmness. For example, your dog went outside, husband's there and children. It's not that moment, but you need to prepare for that. Say, I was, went to last year in Bhutan, went to Bhutan. And they asked me, one day we need to, like walking 3 hours straight in a mountain. And they says, you need to prepare that before you go. You need to prepare that. You just cannot walk, just say, I need to walk mountain. Just today I need to. But you need to prepare before I go to walk that mountain. Many days I can walk. And when I face, time to walk, I'm ready. You understand? Similarly, it's not like that moment, but you prepare for that. It's like exactly, compete Olympian, the Olympian right now going. It's not like you cannot do that moment just one walk, but you need to prepare for that, yeah? Similarly, many challenges we have this world, like difficult husbands and wives, and children's alien and dogs, you want to go. All these things we have faced, we need to prepare for that. When that occurs, we know how to maintain that. If we prepare, we know how to maintain that moment, the curse. Therefore, everything's, I think, preparation. And whether you exercise, just not that moment, but general your health, like you prepare when you face sickness, and you need to have strong and exercise. Also, like learning English, you want to do something in future, and any education, or same as meditation. You need to prepare before, and then once you have pristine mind some degree, and then you can handle challenges. That's really our preparation, I think. That's really, and therefore we need to prepare more right now. I think give some time, we have many, dedicating our time many different ways, but also learning of the meditation is some time, give, and then I think we achieve the goals. Thank you.
Okay, I take like thoughts and feelings more like a symptoms of a situation. Events happen and we tend to react positively or negatively to whatever happens. And it's in a way of telling us if we are in a bad condition or good condition. So sometimes it helps, let's say, to avoid danger. If you are in a road rage situation, you might want to get out. And experiencing fear, it sometimes can help you to get out of dangerous situation. Same with like if you're in a loving relationship, you want to stay in the loving relationship and get out of a bad relationship, let's say.
Yes.
So how do we, with pristine mind, how we can employ those feelings so they would serve us instead of cloud our skies?
Yes, I think fear, it's not only fear you can give, someone's car, it's called awareness. mindfulness. There is some people maybe get out because fear. Some people have mindful. Some people have awareness. Some people have wisdom. Fear is one way to prevent that, but that's not the good way. But number one is wisdom. You have wisdom. Wisdom can prevent that, and also awareness, and also called mindfulness. You have mindful, and then therefore. And many things they can prevent. Most people, we can think the fear. The fear is not that best way to acting. It's the best way to is mindfulness. Mindfulness, if you look at every clear, and also you have wisdom is number one. Wisdom means that's not a good way to do. And there's, I always put here in the book, maybe there's, most people think that the pursuit is ego. It's not ego can, pursue or the goals, but wisdom can pursue the goals. And, fear can prevent, something negative, not fear, but mindfulness or wisdom. And then I says, tell you this, give example. Blue sky, there's few clouds. You understand that? Similar, blue sky, there comes your pristine mind, but at the same time, the more you have pristine mind, the more you become intelligent. Because there's few mental events, that means you have more, mind is clear. And for example, let's say 100 things happen in the same time, you're confused. You cannot make decisions. But few things, your mind makes clear decisions. Therefore, I give this example, if your house everywhere is garbage or newspaper, and you cannot find your iPhone or key because so many things going on. But your house is clean, few things there, you can find your iPhone or key. Yeah? Similar, if your mind is 70% clear, and then you have more intelligent, you know how to think very clearly. And therefore, clear mind, pristine minds give more clear, more intelligent. I feel that also myself. When my mind is clear, I feel intelligent, I feel capable. But my mind is so many hundreds of thoughts going on, it's hard to focus. Therefore, the pristine mind is always practical on number one. This is, I think I address in the book, but it's also like that. And therefore, not fear, it's mindfulness. Number one is wisdom. That's really are the best way to accomplish. Okay? Thank you.